foreign dominion, we have been left for lust for higher quality education. So first and foremost, I believe that we need to focus on making education more accessible to all. Secondly, we need to move beyond the rote learning to a more holistic and experiential approach to education. We need to embrace technology and digital learning. Thanks to the technological advancement, we have access to a wealth of knowledge at our fingertips. Another critical aspect of education is that need reform is the assessment system as we discussed in the preceding session. And finally, we must ensure that every child receives education that prepares them for the challenges of the future. Some of other aspects education needs is addressal of equity, quality at every level, and along with an innovation mindset in all the future generations. So I would like to be brief, since we have other learner speakers. So I can say that Vision 2047 has to sensitize the edu space compatible with the Vishwa Guru avatar of New Bharat. Edu space has to move in tandem with developments in other fields like industrialization, to say yes, healthcare for sure, defense certainly, agriculture absolutely, services a must, spirituality a basic refurbishing there, so on and so forth. Now here lies the holistic unfolding. NEP has given us sturdy and simultaneously equally flexible matrix, and to create a strong body for new avatar of edu space, we must create tinkering labs, awareness labs, AI labs, vocational labs, animation labs from school age will galvanize the young minds, imbibing innovation and creative spirits in them. So with these words, I would like to welcome our other learned guests and the members of CEGR to have the benefit of their speaking at this valedictory session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davishan. Ladies and gentlemen, the emeralds or the diamonds of the glass, they shine only when light is shed on them. So is the ignorant mind. When the light of knowledge spreads, the ignorant mind reveres, and let that be the goal of education. Having said so, we have with us Mr. Sachin Gupta, Chancellor, Sanskriti University. I'll request Mr. Sachin Gupta, Chancellor, Sanskriti University, to deliberate on the topic Policy Imperative for the Enhancement of Quality Education in India. Mr. Sachin Gupta.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, respected members of the dais, Shri Rajiv Kumar ji from AICTE, and all respected members, chancellors, vice chancellors, educationists and IIT from the IT team. Sabhi ko mera namaskar. First of all, I'd like to congratulate CEGR for organizing this conference, second summit on Vision 2047 in education. Especially thanks to Ravi ji for taking so much pain, and he's being there in education from long time and doing a lot of work for education system, for the betterment of education system. And foremost, congratulations to you all. You've been a very patient listener since morning. So एक बार अपने लिए जोरदार तालियां बजा दीजिए, ताकि at least you've been a very patient listener. When we talk about 2047, India will be gaining its 100 years of independence. And what are the areas to look out for? Today when we stand here, India being one of the youngest generation population country that India has, and in 2047 it may be one of the oldest. So there are a lot of challenges for us. That is the time has to come. And when we talk about education, today we are facing shortage of faculties. I think in 2047 there will be robots in the classes than teachers in the classes, and maybe more of IT and then less of human touch. So when we talk about 2047, I think it's very difficult to predict next 2 years, and we're talking about next 25 years. So again, thanks to the country for giving us a national education policy and the national credit framework that has come last week. And I think the higher education is yet to come with the detailing on that. And we'd like to hear more from Shri Rajiv Kumarji about the national credit framework that has given credits from 1 to 4.5 to secondary education and 4.5 to 7 for higher education. During this gratitude session, I think a lot of manthan has been done since morning, and the nectar that will come out, it will be for all of us to have that nectar, and will take us a lot of things away from here. For me, I think the future stands for skilling of education, and rather than degrees, it will be all about community colleges having more skilling. More community colleges granting skilling, and we'll be doing away with one thing that I always say, we'll be not making our students ready for the examinations. In today's education system, what we see, we make our students ready for the examination, and what he faces next is another examination. So I think there is less of marks for the queries and the skills he has, and it is more of awarding marks for the rot that he does, and he gets marks for that. There are a lot of challenges against all the education systems that are running. When you talk about IT, yes, IT will play a major role. There is no second thought about it. And I will not like to speak on that because we've already heard since morning about that. But again, when we talk about a legacy in our institutions, legacy in our corporate culture, we try to protect that. Our army people are protecting our borders. But is our education system protecting our culture of our country? And is our education system there to protect our culture in the country? So I think we all need to think about that, and the National Credit Framework that has come has really thought about that, and they've kept that as important part of it. So again, thank you everyone for giving patience hearing to me and calling me today. Thank you so much. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Having said so, we also have with us Ms. Shazia Ilmi, National Spokesperson BJP with us. Welcome ma'am to this event. This is the valedictory ceremony as well as the award ceremony at the second Summit on Vision 2047 in Education. Having said so, I will now request Dr. Anupam Choksi, Pro-Chancellor, NMCT University, to present a sapling to Ms. Shazia Ilmi, National Spokesperson BJP. And I request Mr. Ramesh Roshan, Director CEGR, to present a shawl to ma'am. Presenting a green sapling shows the environmental concerns of CEGR. Thank you ma'am for gracing the occasion, and sir for doing the honours. Mr. Ramesh Roshan, Director CEGR, to present a shawl to Ms. Shazia Ilmi. Thank you ma'am. This shows our love and gratitude from CEGR. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure to have you ma'am. Well everybody, the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows, and it's really not easy to learn something. It is something which is to be learned with a lot of ardor and diligence. Having said so, I will now request Dr. Sandeep Marwa, Chancellor, AAFT University, to present his address. Dr. Sandeep Marwa.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. What a pleasure to be here this afternoon with all of you on this second summit, CEGR on Vision 2047. Wonderful idea to have this kind of a summit on education. I'm feeling proud to be here back into CEGR function. Last year I was the president of this organization, and we have tried our level best to bring this setup to a wonderful, to a national and international stature, and I'm happy that this year CEGR is doing much better. Let me start with two very important lines. कि स्वयं विधाता होवे मानव, अंतर में विश्वास जगाओ, चलो न मिटते पद चिन्हों पर, अपने रास्ते आप बनाओ, अपनी आत्म ज्योति पर निर्भर, अपने सूर्य स्वयं बन जाओ. Respected dignitaries on the dais, all the very, very important people from the education fraternity, and my dear friends, what I'm trying to tell you here, whether God has been so kind, God has been so kind that He has bestowed upon us all those powers which He possesses Himself. G-O-D, power to generate, power to operate, and power to destroy. It's entirely up to us that which power we would like to use for which purpose. On this very auspicious day, let's pray, Lord, give us strength to use these powers to our best for the best of the things which we can do during our lifetime. With these words, I'm very happy to be here. Ample has been said since morning. I'm sure you must have heard, learned a lot when it comes to education. The word education has been spoken probably since morning for more than 100 times. But then let me give you the real definition of education from my point of view. Because when I say E stands for enthusiasm, E stands for extraordinary, E stands for energy. If you can put in all this into the system, trust me, your education system is going to be the best. And this is what is needed. We've been discussing since morning, 2047, what education is going to be after 25 years. Everything is going to change. What you are teaching and learning today, it will be absolutely nothing what you are watching today. It will be changed. Techniques will change, methods will change, curriculum will change, style will change, equipment will change after 25 years. Because there's so much of tremendous changes which are coming into the education system. But what will not change, that I'm going to tell you right now, E, which stands for enthusiasm, extraordinary, and energy. If you're going to keep this into the system, your educational institution is going to be the best. When I say D stands for dedication, determination, discipline, which will be needed today, which is needed today and which will be needed in 2047 too. When I say U stands for working under controlled condition. Any student who has been trained under controlled condition has always done well into the market. That's my 30 years experience in education. But U also stands for all those 17 SDG points what United Nations has given to us. Please go back, learn them, and try to use all of them, if possible, into your educational systems. Trust me, your education is going to be a marvelous one. When I say C stands for commitment. कि रघुपति प्रीत सदा चली आई, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए. If you can teach how to commit yourself, because the word commitment is unfortunately missing from the whole scenario, from the community itself. And I think we have to bring back that word commitment back into the education. C also stands for communication. बोली एक अनमोल है, जो कोई बोले जान, हिये तराजू तौल के, तब मुख बहरान. ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आप होए, और उनको शीतल करे और खुद भी शीतल होए. I think very important that all the three very important parts of communication, that people should know how to read, how to write, and how to speak. But then the fourth one, which is missing right now, that how to listen. We have to work on that. Patience is missing from the classrooms, and I think we have to very rigorously work on that they should be in a position to listen, which is the fourth important part of communication. A stands for being ambitious. Best of the machines will never bring ambition into the students. So we all have to actually create that kind of a zest and enthusiasm back into the classroom, so that students should be ambitious to do something big. I mean, that is still missing, because every student passing out from higher education is still looking for a job. Only 1% of the students, they're trying to be the part of any enterprise, or they want to get into any new startup or something like that. But most of them are still looking for a job. That part is missing. which is going to make them a good entrepreneur. And when I say T stands for techno-savvy. Very important because techniques are changing, pandemic has taught us enough. So we all have to be vigilant, alert, conscious. We have to keep on amending, altering, adding, subtracting our syllabus because techniques are definitely going to take a very leading part into the education. T also stands for transfer of knowledge. Not only that someone is coming to the classroom and passing his 40 or 1.5 hour teaching, but then we must see that the real grey power has been transferred from one head to another head. It's called transfer of the knowledge. When I say I stands for information. There's a bombardment of information right now from all the corners on student, on us. So we have to be intelligent enough that which information we have to use and which information we have to neglect or delete from our system. O stands for the overall development of the child. If we have to keep all the time how many machines you're going to use, how many techniques you're going to use, but if you have to still work on the overall development, the 360 development of the child. And the last but not the least is N. N stands for being nationalist. If student has not been able to inculcate a sense of patriotism, nationalism, then I think the whole education is a failure, and I think then that means we are somewhere down the line still could not do right to the education. कि जिस ओर चले हम मस्ती में झुक जाए उधर अंबर भूतल, आजाद वतन के बाशिंदे हर गीत हमारा है बादल, विविध प्रांत है अपनी अपनी भाषा के अभिमानी हम, लेकिन सबसे पहले दुनिया वालों हिंदुस्तानी हम. Thank you very much. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep. Beautiful address, and so you always inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, for education should uplift the souls of each individual and provide an ideality to an individual. Have we ever been there, gone there? Check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, having said so, we have with us Professor Rajiv Kumarji, Member Secretary AICTE. I'll request you, respected Professor Rajiv Kumar sir, to present your address. Professor Rajiv Kumar.
Thank you, madam. Respected Saji Almi, Ravish Roshan, dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, good afternoon to each and everyone. First of all, I congratulate and thank CEGR because I am the regular visitor for almost all the summits since 2017. I think, Ravish, I have attended almost all the summits which happened to be in Delhi. So I feel I am a part of that organization now. And the motive is that I get an opportunity to interact with those who are responsible for executing, implementing education in the country. I get to listen, and I also share what we are doing at AICTE level, government level. So this is a platform for AICTE as well as an opportunity to interact with the educationalists, those who are in practice, those who are implementing the policies of the Government of India in their educational institution. So thanks CEGR. Now, I was told that you are interacting since morning. You started your program at 9, around 300 delegates, they are attending this summit. And the title and the vision of this summit is Vision 2047. हमारी शिक्षा क्या होगी in 2047? This is the theme of this summit. Wherever we are going, now Sandeep ji explained education beautifully. Wherever we are going, people are asking what will happen to our teachers, because everything is going to, we are allowing 20%, we started online, now we have permitted 40%, and it will keep on increasing. So every time question is asked whenever we are going to some educational institutions, what will happen to the teachers? This is the first question. Second question is now, but nobody has asked, but I am expecting 1 or 2 years, our educational institutions will ask, our universities will ask, because government is permitting, thinking on the pilot basis, virtual universities are coming. So previously we started, the question was what will happen to the teachers? Now as virtual universities in foreign countries, you all know there are large number of universities. So this is another challenge for all of us, not for the universities, even for the policy makers also. And third one is even the challenge for the industries. Technology is changing so fast and all requirement of the manpower is changing. Role of the technicians, engineers, they are changing in the industry also. So all these they are the challenges, and rightly this summit has given an opportunity to discuss all these challenges. But as I belong to AICT, from the AICT Government of India, I will like to share what we are doing at the government level to overcome these challenges, to address some of the issues. Like first issue was that role of the teacher. What is the role of the teacher in the coming time? What will be the role of the teacher in the coming time? I always say that in ancient time, हमारे प्राचीन काल में, we have Guru Shishya Parampara, where there was one-to-one interaction between student and teacher. So teacher was not only teaching, he was mentoring them. So the role of the teacher in the coming time, what we can see here, it is going to be a mentor only. He will mentor everything what we are teaching to the teacher in the classroom. It is available on the website. It is available in the best lectures of the world, in the form of the best lectures in the world. So only thing is what we can see, that the role of the teacher is going to be as a mentor, as we were having in our ancient time in Guru Shishya Parampara. So this is the only answer. We have to, because in one of the sessions in best of the in a meeting where a large number of directors from IITs, NITs and vice chancellors, they were available. They were discussing and they are saying that it is becoming difficult for a teacher even in IIT to take 60 minutes class, because discipline is becoming a problem. Students, they are not ready to listen to the teacher, because whatever teacher is teaching, it is available with him. So just for the sake of attendance, they are coming. But the teachers, those who are giving something extra which is not available on our books or our lectures, they are the popular the teachers in our institution. So this is the changing scenario. I am discussing some of the issues, not in your universities, happening in the best institution of the country, not in the country, in the worldwide also. Another challenge and the opportunity I will call that internationalization for the education. Government is giving lot of emphasis on internationalization of the education, and UGC has come out some regulations also how it will be done. We were giving permission for the training program, dual degree program earlier in AICT also. And this year, when we started approval process handbook, and it will end on 20th of this month, we are expecting large number of request applications for the training program and other program, internationalization. And this is the forum where we can discuss how we can increase this interaction of our students with the foreign students, how they can go, or the foreign students, they can come to our institutions. So this is the platform we can discuss and deliberate the things, how we can collaborate with the international universities. So all such issues, they are the coming issues, and definitely a deliberation must have taken place. I will request Ravish also to prepare a report on such discussions, and please share that report with us so that it can help us in framing the policies also. Another important thing is what I discuss and deliberate with our chancellors and vice chancellors of the institution is that we should have very, very dynamic academic bodies in our institutions. The academic bodies, if they are not able to take decisions in the right time, if they are delaying it, then the concept of the NEP is defeated. So, like I will share one example, because we have given an option. The NEP gives an option for multiple entry and exit. Suppose some students come to your institution with some credits, and your academic body takes some time in doing the equivalence of this credit. So the purpose of this multiple entry and exit is defeated. So you should have very dynamic academic bodies in your institution, so that they can take quick and early decisions they can take, so that the purpose of this NEP is served. Similarly, we are working hard to provide this technical education and other higher education in Indian languages. We have come out books in 12 Indian languages, and we are requesting institutions give an opportunity to our students, at least those who are coming from the rural background, to take education in their own mother tongue. But don't think that they will get a degree in the Indian language. But second year they will be conversant, and they can easily cope up the pressure of this language change, because they did their schooling in their mother tongue. They are coming to the higher education. Suddenly there is a change in the language. So I have seen in institutions, in universities, those who are in the rural, language is a great barrier for the students coming from the rural and remote areas. So please encourage your students to allow them to take education in Indian languages, and books are ready. Previously, there were crunch of resources, but we have published books in 12 Indian languages. They are available free of cost on our GNIHM portal. Please make use of these books. Second year books writing is going on. Third year and fourth year is also under progress. So please make use of this opportunity given by the Government of India in providing technical education in Indian languages. Another important aspect is connect with the industry. This is an area I can see large number of industry people are here. Please try to have a bonding with the nearby industry. You keep people from the industry in your board, so they are connected with the institutions, and also send your students for the internship in these industry. So you have to come forward. When you will move one step, definitely industry will move 2 steps. So these are the few areas where I want to share what we are doing in AICTE, and now National Credit Framework has come. As I said, if you don't have this dynamic academic bodies, you won't be able to implement this National Credit Framework, because you have to identify the skill gaps at each and every level. You have to give the skill components to the students. So all such issues will be there. Please deliberate, discuss, and in another meeting of similar type, we can also clear some of the doubts you have in your mind as far as implementation of this credit framework is concerned. Gupta ji was saying that I will clear some of the doubts about credit framework. We are also studying that credit framework. Today I have devoted around 3 hours in studying this credit framework. Nothing is very, very complicated here. Only thing is that we should have prompt decision making, quick decision making power in implementing this national credit framework. Everything is clear. I am saying that no further guidelines is going to come from the Government of India or UGC or AICTE. These are the broader guidelines. You have to implement these broader guidelines. You have to frame modalities at your institute level. Share these guidelines, discuss these guidelines with the nearby university or institution. Adopt their best practices, and this is how this national credit framework can be easily implemented across the country. With all these words, I once again thank CEGR for giving me this opportunity, for sharing my views, and definitely I have listened some of the speakers, what they are doing and what are the issues they have discussed. I will get in the form of report from Ravi. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Bharat.
Thank you so